I just want to give my impressions of the Ouya games console, which I bought about a week or so ago. Apologies for the shaky camera, I'm using my phone camera because it's the best I've got. If you're watching this video, you probably know a few things about this console already. I just want to give my impressions and recommend everyone buy one because I think it's a really good console. It's had sort of mixed reviews. Let me just turn it on. I think the general sort of view from magazines online that I've read is that it's got potential. It's a bit buggy in the operating system in the store, which is true. Question is it worth buying one now or waiting until they iron the bugs out? I think you should buy one now. Just starting it up now. Takes about 10-20 seconds. Okay, so I'm not going to cover the things that pretty much everyone else has covered. I'm just going to go into my experiences really and things that you might not know. I've been browsing, there's an unofficial forum called ouyaforum.com. People post there things that they find about the system, things like the Wi-Fi not being particularly strong, problems with controller lag. I believe that was fixed in a firmware update. I still find it in some games, but I think it's the games, not the actual console or the controller. It's just asking me to pair my controller now, so just press the button there. So yeah, when I first got this, it talks you through an initial setup. You have to connect to your network. It wouldn't connect to mine. So I had to skip that setup, go into the advanced settings, and for some reason it did connect there. The Wi-Fi signal is, I'd say, on par with some of the other consoles. I've got a PS3 down here. And I have kind of issues with that, to be honest. I'll never get a full download speed on the PS3. It's pretty slow over Wi-Fi here with my Sky broadband. Whereas my 360, which has currently got the red ring of death, is in a cupboard. I've always got the full connection speed, same with the Wii, and my other consoles I get the full speed. PS3 has never been particularly good. The Ouya, I'd say, is pretty much the same as the PS3. It doesn't give me a full download speed. It takes a couple of hours to download about a gig. But most of the games on the store are 10 meg, 20 meg, stuff like that, so it's not a big problem really. Let me just see, I think I missed that button there. It should be bring me to the home screen. Okay, there we go. So yeah, the Wi-Fi, it's not too bad. One thing a friend has spoken to me about is asked about overheating, if that's an issue. It's not one that I've come across at all. I've had it on for several hours. I left it on overnight one time just to download games. It's got a fan down there underneath, which you hear whirring fairly quietly when it sort of gets processor intensive, and you can feel it a bit warm on the sides, but nothing hot at all. Doesn't affect performance or stability, so overheating not an issue for me. I'm not aware that it is for anyone, so I wouldn't worry about that. Okay, the first thing that you do once you've done your initial setup is to browse the store, which is this Discover option here. Being in the UK, something I'll mention, as I think a lot of the sort of online reviews are outside the UK and don't have this problem, but all the purchases are in dollars on the store, regardless of what country you're in. So you've got to work it out yourself how much it's going to cost in your own currency. One thing which is a bit of a problem buying things in the UK is that most banks will charge you some fee. Anyway, it's about £1.50 on average for each transaction, because it's in dollars and not pounds. So be aware of that. You might be buying a game for 99 cents, whatever that is in English, but they'll add £1.50 on top of that. So a way around that, which I recommend, is to buy the what do you call them, the cards, the credit which you buy in game or on the game website. You can buy a download code, and a £10 card will be £15. Sorry, $15 of credit for the store. So that's a way to avoid charges, but be aware of that. It's a bit crap really that it doesn't tell you what the price of the games is in pounds. You just have to work that out on Google, dollars to pounds.com or something. So yeah, anyway, this is a store which needs a redesign really. It's a bit of a mess, it's hard to find things. There's a lot of really good games on here, so I don't want to sound too negative, but the store needs to be improved. The layout is ridiculous really. You've got featured up here. I don't even know how it works exactly. It's something to do with the amount of likes that the game gets if I just select this one. Sorry about the brightness. You'll see it's got 477 likes. I think that's why it's in the featured section. When a game's first released, it appears down here in Sandbox, and I think it needs 20 likes or something, and then it moves up to here, which is new from Sandbox. Apart from that, you've got genres where you can see basically all the games on the store sorted by genre. Then you've got these weird playlists, which I don't understand the point of these at all. They're just a waste of space. Just skip those. Sorry, cats coming in and out. Better put the camera on them for a minute. This one's always got nipples hanging out. Yeah, the playlists are just some random developer, what he's playing, which is, I don't know who'd find that interesting or useful at all. So pretty much when I come on here, I'll go down to the Sandbox, see if there's anything new, download it if it sounds good. Other than that, you can browse everything by the genre. I've pretty much gone through all these now, so I know what's in here, so it's just the new releases that I come and check out now. But yeah, there's a couple hundred games. I've probably tried a couple dozen so far. I'll just show you a couple of the possibly best and worst. If I go into play, this is the ones that you've already downloaded. Emulators, yeah, definitely going to have to show you something about these. Sorry, my throat's a bit dry, didn't get a drink. Yeah, I'll just scroll along to show you what I've got on here at the moment. Emulators, really good, brilliant, come back to that in a minute. I think the QA at Ouya I don't even know if they do anything at all, but game gets submitted. Apparently it goes through some kind of testing before it comes onto the store, but there are a handful of games which are really glitchy, some don't work at all. This game 24 locks. It works for, I think, most people, but on the forum, ouyaforum.com, which I've posted on there, I can't start a game. Let me just load it up, I'll show you. It will come to the title screen. You can move up and down, but it says press circle to select. Press circle, nothing. No button does anything, but I can use up and down to select, so that game's broken. I have actually tried it with a PS3 controller and it works fine with that, so a bit strange, but for some people, but not everyone, they can't select a new game on that game. And I've come across similar problems on one or two other titles as well. In fact, this game, Mosaic, has, I think, a similar sort of controller issue, which I'm going to post on the forum about a bit later. Anyway, if I scroll to the right, I haven't actually played that one yet. It's one I've added to the queue. There's some really good games which you can't really get in this quality on another system. I mean, games like Retro Racing I have on my iPhone, and it's pretty good on the iPhone, but having it in 1080p on a big screen and with split screen multiplayer, it's brilliant. It's by the guy who made Nitro, if you don't know that, on the Amiga, which was my favourite game on the Amiga, so that's the first game I bought on the Ouya, and it's a brilliant game. Most of the games on here run at 1080p, which I think gives it an advantage over the Xbox 360 indie store. I think most of the games on there run at 720, so everything does look crystal clear and really sharp and really nice. This platform game game Super Daddio 2. I think I'm going to buy this one as well. I basically just bought a £10 card and I'm sort of spending that bit by bit. This is a really good game, really smooth scrolling, really sharp graphics, 1080p, and it plays really well. So maybe I'll just load this up quickly just to show you. I'm not sure what the limit is on YouTube for video length, so if I run out of time I'll just split this into separate sections. Okay, at the moment it's just a trial version, but it looks like it gives you quite a few levels. I haven't finished the trial yet, so I haven't bought the full one yet. But here you go, holding the camera with one hand and jumping with the other. And the Ouya nearly fell at the end. The Ouya controller is pretty nice, really comfortable. I've heard sort of mixed comments, people saying it's a cheap knockoff of the 360 pad. It doesn't feel like a cheap copy, it's really comfortable. The analog sticks are quite nice to hold, to use, and the buttons are quite nice, even the D-pad is pretty good. So yeah, this game pretty much borrows ideas from Mario, Sonic, Guiana Sisters, that kind of thing. Doing pretty well with one hand, like that. But yeah, Super Daddio 2, one of the good games I recommend on this. Let me just scroll along and see what else I've got on here. Amiga emulator. Yeah, I want to talk about this as a side-loaded one. So far there's not an official Ouya version. The problem with side-loaded apps is the controllers sometimes don't work very well. This emulator works fine for single-player games, but the first game I tried on this was Nitro, and because it was a 3-player game, I think, when you try and start a 1-player game, it thinks that your pad controls 2 of the players, and I can't see any way of fixing that. So with side-loaded apps, some of them work fine, but multiplayer ones you might have trouble with the controllers. Another thing with side-loaded apps, while I'm talking about them, is they tend to run at a low resolution. The Ouya specific stuff will run at 1080, but can't really tell with UAE, but a game like Dead Trigger, which I've got side-loaded, runs in a low resolution than, for example, Shadowgun, which is on here somewhere, which you can tell is 1080. So yeah, side-loaded stuff is good. It gives you access to a lot more games and apps, but hopefully we'll get official Ouya versions at some point. So yeah, I think that's enough about these games, but there's some really good games. I think I just went past one which I really enjoyed, which was called Anti-Chromatic. Where's that one gone? That one's here. Completely free game. I was really surprised that it was free. I played from start to finish in one session, expecting it to be a demo, and then finding out it wasn't, but it took me about an hour to complete, and it was a lot of fun, really good game. I'll just load that up quickly, because I do want to say something about demos and purchasing games. Basically, it's not clear at the moment, hopefully they'll fix this in an update, but it's not clear how much a game is until you've downloaded it, loaded it up, found a purchase option in the menu somewhere, and then it'll say, by the way, this is $2.99 or something. So when I loaded this up, I didn't see a buy option, but half expected one to just pop up somewhere through playing it. So it's pretty badly designed, the fact that, I mean, it should say on the store, this game will cost you however much, or this game is free. And it doesn't, it's a mystery until you've loaded it up and had a look to see if you can find a purchase option. Anyway, I'm just going to go into this. Yeah, dead. This basically, you press a button, you switch between dark and light, not that button. When you're light, dark things can't hurt you. When you're dark, light things can't hurt you. It's a bit Metroid-like, where you get upgrades as you... That's going to kill me. Killed me. Yeah, you get upgrades as you explore the map and unlock different bits of the map. Brilliant game, really enjoyed it. I think I died about 250 times when I completed this. But you respawn in the same room, so it doesn't feel like a death, it's just sort of, I don't know, knocks you back a bit and makes you have to try a bit harder. brilliant game. One of the reasons for owning an Ouya, but not that by itself. I'll show you a couple of the other reasons. I'm going to go into the side loading section next, just to show you what I've got on here really. Dead Trigger, Amazon store, you can download a bunch of apps on there. Onlive, apparently we're getting an official Ouya version of this, but you can sideload this one. Works completely fine, works nicely with the Ouya controller. I'm not sure if I tried an Xbox pad, probably works fine with it. The only thing I'll say about the Onlive app is the same as most of the other sideloaded things, that the resolution's not as great. I loaded up Onlive on the PC and also had the Ouya plugged into the PC monitor over there. Switch between them and there's a noticeable difference in quality. The PC Onlive is a lot sharper, even with an Ethernet cable plugged into the Ouya. The buffering is fine, it's perfectly smooth, but I don't know, it just seems a bit pixelated and the text is a bit unclear to read, so it's not particularly great, but hopefully the official release will be a lot better. Let me just sign in. I don't know if you'd even see the quality on my iPhone camera, but I'll just load it up quickly. That's my wife's reflection in the background. She's surfing the internet. Okay, skip. There you go. It's a good application. I will probably play with this a bit more. I'm just going into, you can browse other people's games, so I'm just going to click on one. Don't even know what's going on that one. I think that's Homefront, that's a pretty popular game on Onlive. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but the text is a bit messy. Good fun anyway. I'm looking forward to the official version of this whenever that comes out. And just quit out this. Okay, another thing I really want to show you is XBMC, which I installed just last night actually. So I've just been playing with that today. I'm really impressed with this. This is another one which is coming out. Sorry about the background noise, my wife's in the kitchen. Thanks, Em. XBMC is coming out for the Ouya. This is a side-loaded alpha version, so it crashes quite a bit, but it runs quite well when it's actually running. I just want to show you some of the streaming, which is all I've tried on here so far. You can plug a USB stick, or you can stream from your computer, video files, music, that sort of thing, but I've so far just installed these add-ons which are basically streaming channels. I'm really impressed with this. I've not used XBMC since the original Xbox, and I didn't have this plugged into the network either when I used it, so to see all these streaming channels, it's really surprised me. I'll just go into one now and just show you how much you can do with this. Go into TV shows, it's got just pages and pages of stuff. You just click on something, it'll show you every single series of a particular show, and then you just choose an episode and it'll just play it, and it seems to be pretty flawless. You've got several mirrors you can choose to, if you've got sort of buffering issues from one, just go to another one. Just go to search. It's saved in my last search, which is Twin Peaks, and I can't believe it. It just comes up with all of it. And if I knew that Ouya came with a complete season of Twin Peaks, I'd have bought 2 of them. So choose episode 1. It says working down the corner. Now you choose a mirror. Just go for the top one. Pull back the camera a bit. Okay, so it's buffering up the corner. I've not seen this weird garbled stuff before, but I'm sure it'll go away. I had to play with this earlier, and when it works, it just goes straight in and plays. Sometimes you might have a bit of buffering, or you might need to choose a different mirror, and then it just plays, and you've just got loads of series, complete series, and loads of films as well. I clicked on a film just to watch the first couple of minutes, and then turned it off just to see how it worked. At the moment, so you can see that says buffering 40%, so probably I didn't click on the best mirror, but there you go, it's playing now. Got the volume pretty low because I don't want to make too much noise, it's getting late now. Okay, enough of that. Let me just click back to the menu again. Just a double tap of this home button will quick you back. You just see, I think that was pretty much it from here. MAME, another really good emulator. This one's side-loaded on. Runs really well. Could do with an official version that's designed for smaller screens, so the list of ROMs is fairly small, you have to scroll through them, so if you've got a lot of ROMs it's going to be pretty hard to navigate. Other than that, yeah, it runs brilliantly. The latest version supports multiple controllers, which I've not tested yet, but you can use a PS3 controller or a 360 wide controller, and I've got one of each of those, so that's pretty good. So yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I got this was to maybe replace my old Xbox, which I've got MAME on and things like that. Just because it's hassle getting all the wide controllers out, they're not too comfortable. Have to switch with cables around the back because it shares a component splitter with the Wii, so it's just a bit of a pain. So we'll see how things go on the Ouya, but the emulators I'm going to show you now, this is the last part of the video I think, so I've gone through everything else. Okay, it changes the order of these. I think it has the last played one at the top left, so everything else has shifted along a bit. We're not going to show you everything, but let me just get my ROMs. One thing I was surprised and a bit disappointed with was that the Ouya didn't have an SD slot, but it does have a USB, so you can plug a memory stick or a hard drive or a 4-port hub if you want a few extra bits installed, plugged in. But one thing I found is my PSP, which I've got loaded with quite a lot of ROMs. I can just plug that into the USB, and I can load the ROMs from the PSP. So I'm just going to do that now. Sorry about the dodgy camera. USB ROM back. PSP Go, by the way, brilliant console. Get one or 3. Okay, I think I've got it set to auto connect. Yeah, okay. Hang on, what's that say? The host is not. Please wait. Add. It worked last time. Hang on, I'm just going to reconnect that. So that should be all I need to do. Crap, okay, it's not working now. It says to turn USB recharge off, which I didn't have to do last time, so I'm just going to do that quick. Let me just turn that off as well. Come on, don't fail me. A meowing cat in the background. Okay, no, it's not working. One of the sort of buggy things about the Ouya, I guess. Pretty sure if I reboot now, it will probably work. which I might have to do because I did want to show you the emulators, because they run really nicely, upscale to 1080p. There's some impressive scaling or shaders, or I don't know what you call them, but they don't look pixelated at all. Even the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance emulators, blown up to a 40-inch screen, they look really nice and not at all blocky like I would have expected, and like I'm pretty sure they do on the Xbox. Hang on, I'm going to pause this and then come back. Okay, I've got it set up over USB. I'm going to wrap this video up any second now, so I'm just going to go into an emulator quickly and show you how it runs. I'll go with PC Engine because it's one of my favourites. I used to have a Turbo Express back in the day and I loved it. So let me just go into load game. Yep, because I've been on here before, it's remembered my path, which is the USB drive, PSP game, etc. And this supports multiple controllers. 2 players on Bonk 3 or Bomberman will work quite nicely with a PS3 controller. It's going to go into Soldier Blade because it has a great soundtrack and it's probably my favourite game. Shit, that's the wrong button. This is Shotman. There you go. Restart. This TV remote. It runs perfectly, as do the other emulators. I've had a weird issue with G-SNES or whatever it's called. I can't seem to see the option of using the second controller, but I haven't really given it much time. And if it doesn't support it, there is another SNES emulator on the store anyway, so not a major problem. Anyway, that's it. I'm not going to go into a game. Buy one and give it a go. Thank you. Any questions, post in the comments. Bye.